Good morning and welcome to video 5 of our bridge build series. So if you watched our previous video, you would have seen we put the decking down onto our bridge and put the handrail uprights in place. So if you missed out on that video, there will be a link up in the top corner along with a link for the playlist if you want to watch this right from the start. So plan for today's video is to try and get the siding on and get the handrails on. Now I'm not going to get that all done today because we're supposed to be having heavy rain. At the moment the mountain over there has just disappeared, so I don't think that's far off. So I'll see how far I can get, but yeah, idea is I'm going to be putting these boards onto the side. I've got wooden blocks that I'm going to use as spacers to make sure they all have the same spacing all the way up. Obviously they don't do the full length, so there's going to have to be joins. Every time I have a joint it's got to fall on the beam, so I am going to have to cut some of the boards to length. Hopefully this will go quickly. Let's see how we do. Right, well that's one side up and it looks good. Problem is I've done it wrong because I'm rushing because of the rain. I forgot to level the posts, so they're only about a centimetre out, but it's going to irritate me if I don't do it, so I am going to go through all of that, unscrew all of the planks on each post, level the post back up and screw them all back on again. So I'm not going to take it all down, I'm just going to take all the screws out and do one post at a time. So I'm not going to bother recording that because it's not going to look any different to you, but it's going to irritate me if I don't do that. So I've gone through and I've levelled all of these. It's literally a case of sitting the level up against it, then giving the top a good nudge to straighten it up. And like I say, the worst one I had was 1.5 centimetres out at the very top. So I'm going to set you up over there because obviously this set is a lot longer. It's not going to be quite as quick as that side because it's not evened. These are all 1 metre between the posts. This is 1.20 meters. So I'm going to have to see what I can do with the boards. I'm hoping I've got enough boards to do it all, but we'll see. Right, let's get on. Right, well it's looking good, but I have run out of timber. So the bridge used to come all the way up to here, so I calculated for a bridge to the same length from this post here. Obviously I've added in that little bit of fence at the other end. I hadn't calculated for that, so I am 4 boards short. I've had a look in the shed, I can't find any more, so I'm going to have to go and buy some. But I'm not complaining, because as you can see from the puddles, it really is rather wet. I've tried my best, but I've had enough. I want to go and get dry now, so plan for tomorrow. If I go and buy those boards today, I can get on, I can get the last of these boards up, I can cut the posts flush, and I can put the handrails on, and we'll be finished. So, right, I'll see you in the morning. Okay, well I'm back, and it is so much drier today, it is lovely. So, yesterday, despite the rain, I did manage to get the extra boards and get them fitted. Obviously I didn't record that because I was getting absolutely drenched at the time, and I didn't want to get the camera wet. But that means all the siding is done. I've also gone through this morning and made sure all those posts are now level, so I am ready for the handrails. So fortunately there is power in that building over there, so I've got an extension here to come down here, so I can use the circular saw. And the idea is I want to cut all these posts so they're flush. And then, because the handrail is going to overhang so it's level with the boards that I put on the side here, I'm also going to have to cut a little angle off the back. So the circular saw isn't deep enough to go all the way through the post, so it's going to be a swap between circular saw and hand saw, but it should go relatively easy. The only one that's causing me problems is this one here, which I think I'm going to end up doing the whole thing by hand and getting interesting with that bit there. So we'll see what happens. So right, I'll set you up at the end and we'll see how quickly I can get this done. Well, I don't know how much of that you got to see, because the camera lens is an absolute magnet for the dust, but that's all of them cut down now, all with a nice slope. I've been around, I've sanded any rough edges off of them, so that's ready for the handrail. And like I say, I did have to get a little bit creative with this. I managed to get most of the flat cut in with the circular saw, but I had to do the angle by hand, and I cut that section out by hand, so that means that once the handrail goes in there, I should be able to put this post top back on as well, so that should look good. So let's get these handrails on. So that's the handrail finished, tied in nicely with the old existing fence here as well. So that is in theory the bridge finished. There's one last thing I've got to do before I can allow public to use this again, and that is get rid of that step. So this is going to need lots and lots of gravel. Right. And with the gravel down, that is the bridge finished, and it is looking fantastic over the water there. So as you come around the end here, got a nice even transition onto the bridge. So if you've got a mobility scooter or a pushchair, it's nice and easy to get on here. Obviously no more holes, no more missing handrails, so that's all good. A nice even transition off this end to carry on with the path here. So obviously now the bridge is safe, I've reopened the path so the public can use this again. I still need to sort out this mess, that will be coming up in a future video. But for now, that is it, because it has just started to rain as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you leave a like and do subscribe, because there's always something going on the grounds here. And I shall see you later.